Anshika, start.
Yeah. I would like to quote a saying: "This nation will remain the land of free only as long as it is the home of brave." A very good evening to one and all present out there. This is Dr. Anshika Reni, Areas of Focus Director of Rotary Club of SSMRV. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to today's webinar on defense as an exciting career. Now, I would like to call our club president, Dr. Janvi Manjunath, to welcome the gathering.
Good evening, all. This is Rotractor Janavi Manjunath, President of Rotary Club of SSMRV College. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this mega event, Sun Rakshak, a cut above the rest. A hearty welcome to all of you. First of all, I would like to welcome our speaker, Colonel Koppalli Subbaraju, sir. Hearty welcome to you, sir. A hearty welcome to our Lieutenant V. Damodaran Nair. A hearty welcome to you, sir. A hearty welcome to our Rotarian Wing Commander DP Sabharwal. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I would also like to welcome our beloved Principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I would also like to welcome our club convener, Professor S. Jitendra Kumar. Hearty welcome to you, sir. A heartfelt gratitude to all districts and clubs who came forward to take up these wonderful initiatives. Thankful to all the presidents of 7 different districts. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call a principal to speak few words.
Good evening. Happy Republic Day.
Thank you, sir.
On the occasion of Republic Day, I'm happy that SSMRV, in association with Rotary Club of Cantonment and in collaboration with 7 districts of Rotary, are organizing this very useful event, very important event, and by the eminent speakers, especially all of them, I think all of them are from the defense. Colonel K.S. Raju, Mr. Damodar Nair, and Wing Commander DP Sabharwal. All of them have taken out their time and to speak about the career opportunities in defense. Because in the present day, it is very important to be part of defense by our youth, and they should get more information about how our students can get into defense and what are the various career opportunities. Defense is not just being frontline. I think there are many other positions which are available in all the 3 forces. So I think this is a great opportunity for all the Rotary members to know about the opportunities, career opportunities in defense. So once again, I would like to welcome the eminent speakers, Colonel K.S. Raju, Mr. Damodar Nair, and Wing Commander D.P. Sabharwal sir, and also all the office bearers who have taken the interest in organizing this unique event, a mega event today. And also I appreciate the presence of all the participants who are present for this particular program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to call a club community service director, Dr. Divyashree, to welcome Colonel Subbaraju.
Good evening, all. Colonel Kuppalli Subbaraju. He's a retired officer and alumni of Sainik School, Korkanda, Andhra Pradesh. He pursued BE in Civil Engineering from Thapar University, Patiala, Masters from Jadavapura University, Kolkata. He joined Indian Army in 1981 as a technical graduate, whose initial 15 years were spent in inhospitable places like Siachen Glacier, 3 tenures in Jammu and Kashmir, as well in Assam. He has a vast experience in combat as well as civil engineering, works in Army, Navy, Air Force, and DRDO. He worked as a project director, highways in Andhra Pradesh, Basra, Iraq, and also looked after tunneling works in Sri Salem, Andhra Pradesh. He is presently working as a vice president in Infra Support Engineering Private Limited in Bangalore since 6 years. Last but not the least, nothing is impossible, believes in everything can be achieved if one has the willpower. I heartily welcome you, Subbaraju sir. Now I would kindly ask the sir to take up a few words.
Good evening, everyone, and a very happy 73rd Republic Day to you all and your families. And it is an honor for me to say a few words and imbibe some interesting facts to encourage the students to join Indian Army. Since the blood is in me, even though I got rejected in NDA, I did my engineering and joined the Indian Army. It is all in my blood. That's the reason why I chose to join this. This profession is a great, it physically and mentally brings you up. And I don't think any other profession can be challenged with this. You get everything what you want. You work for the nation. And it is the most secure job, I feel. Having worked for 29 years, and it is a pensionable job. Thereafter, there is again the defense forces who can look after you in every aspect with all the allowances and whatever is available. And I could see whole of India in my tenure. And today you all might have seen the mighty Republic Day parade held at Rajpath with limited resources because of the COVID situation. We all must salute the armed forces, the paramilitary forces, the NCC students, and all the states which have sent their tableaus to depict the cultural aspects of the respective states. Not the least, the most warriors of this particular season since 2.5 years, the doctors and their team should be mentioned more than what we are today. They have really helped all the Indians and also the outside countries in making our health more safe. I will specially be speaking of Indian Army, in which I have the honor of commissioned by the President of India. Indian Armed Forces are one of the few institutions every Indian can actually be proud of. I had an experience of 3 tenures, each of 2 to 2.5 years in Jammu and Kashmir. Even though I have not seen the wars, but the warlike situations have been faced by me. When I was in Chicken Neck area, which is very famous in Jammu and Kashmir in Akhnur sector, I lost few of my company soldiers and also a full colonel, wherein the Pakistani tried to penetrate by sending the anti-national elements to disrupt our functioning in the border areas. And also I worked in the glacier, where it is the highest battlefield of the world, in which I could able to stay for few months, where no troops are allowed to be there for more than 6 months because of the climatic conditions. I had the opportunity of making helicopter and hangars and also prefabricated structures there. And there also it is like warlike situations. I just wanted to share my screen so that I can just present few things. Can I share the screen, please? Hello.
You have the right
Can you
to
hear
share
me?
this. You have the right to share the screen. You just need to press that button, green one on the down.
Yeah. I'm just getting on to it.
I guess we need to make you as a.
Yeah. I'm on it. Yeah. Do you have it in you? Join the Indian Army.
Can't
Jesus.
see.
Can't see it? Hello.
So we can see the screen, but it's blank.
What about?
Raju, you must first open the file
Yeah.
and then screen share.
Yeah.
Then click on that.
Yeah, I opened it, sir.
Oh, I'm scrambled now. You just open the file and then press the screen share. Now you have to go off the screen share. Stop screen share.
Yeah.
And then open the file and then do the screen share.
Just a minute. Can you see it, sir?
No. Yeah, now it's coming up. Your screen is coming.
Okay, sir.
No, now it's gone.
What about now?
Yeah, now we can see the screen.
Yeah. Getting out to, do you have it in it? Join the Indian Army. This is basically meant for all the students, including the latest is even the women cadets are being observed both in NDA and the technical arms, and they can get permanent commission. And whenever we are passed out for the training from the Indian Military Academy, these are the things which are imbibed in us. And the most important, when we pass out of the Indian Military Academy, the safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor comfort and safety of the man you command comes next. Your own ease. Comfort and safety comes last, always and every time. This is what we have been taught. We always look for the welfare of our country and our family, and things come later in our life. There are few lessons every Indian can learn from the armed forces. These are the following: the value of discipline day-to-day life. This is that all armed forces are well disciplined and well planned, and we always try and get success in whatever the plans we have made. The practicing unity in diversity isn't a big deal at all. This is the way how we all stay together, and there is no caste or creed among us. And we work as, this is the only organization, there is no, for recruitment and all, there is no caste creed. They all are same for the sake of the employment. The real meaning of friendship.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb, but your presentation is not visible.
Oh, I thought what about now?
No, sir, it is still not visible.
Have you opened that file and then?
Yes, sir. I opened the file and then went on to the screen sharing.
Yeah, but then you have you have not taken that. It's not showing that file. It's showing it's a blank. It's just a photograph which is coming. You have to choose that file.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Raju, I suggest you just carry on. Your talk
Yeah.
was making as it is meaningful interpretations. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just stop the screen share and you can.
Okay. Actually, there are a few good 71 war and various things.
Is that a PPT or a movie?
It's a PPT come small 1 or 2 movies are there, sir.
So I don't know. For the PPT should be.
It should, I don't know. Is it okay now? No, sir. Not yet.
No, we're just seeing that.
Anyway, sir, then I get on to the various, I'm sorry.
I think you can close this share screen. Yeah, you're visible now.
Yeah. Now coming on to the main entry, there are so many entries, sir. There are about 14 entries how one can become an officer in the Indian Army. And some are through the UPSC examinations which are being conducted twice a year and 1 or 2 once a year. And there are few entries where one can go directly after technical entries who can go direct without written exam and attend the service selection boards. And the first one is through NDA. NDA, it is after 10 plus 2, it's a all India entrance examinations held twice in a year, and one has got to get into the merit, and they join National Defence Academy after going through the SSB interviews, and it is a 3 years training at the National Defence Academy, and after that they go to the respective institute, like those who are joining army, they go to IMA Dehradun, and those who are qualified for the Navy, they go to Naval Academy and Air Force Academy. Here in 10 plus 2, those who are wanting to join Air Force and Navy, they should have had maths and physics in the 10 plus 2, otherwise they are not eligible. Remaining are all, they go to the Army, IMA. Then there is one more entry called Combined Defense Services. This is meant for the graduates, both arts and science graduates. They go directly to the IMA. It is a 1.5 year training. I am only talking about the army now. Then again for this also, All India entrance exam is there, and they are called in October and November. These exams are conducted. There is one technical entry scheme. This is the best scheme for the youth who just finished their 10 plus 2, and here there is no entrance exam. However, they should have scored 70% marks in the maths, physics, chemistry, and after that they are sent to the respective colleges engineering to do their engineering, and they go for their training afterwards. Then there is one university entry scheme which is meant for the, here again there is no entrance exam required, but however the people from various institutes, they go to the engineering colleges, select in the pre-final year, and it takes once in a year, and they are paid during their final year of their engineering degree. Then comes the technical graduate scheme. This is again for the engineering students, wherein it is held 2 times a year, and they directly join after going through the SSB once they are selected in the SSB. Then there is one short service commission, both for men and women, technical. Again, there is no entrance exam is required for this, and the conditions are same. The age for these 22-27 years. Again, these exams are held twice in a year. Then there is one Ncc Special Entry. This is meant for the students who do their compulsory training, NCC training, while they are doing their degree, and there is no entrance exam. However, they should have passed NCC C certificate in B grade. Then there is one JAG, Judge Advocate General entry for both men and women, and they should have passed LLB with 55%, and they should have been a member of the one of the institutes. Then those who are serving in the defense forces, there are some entries called Army Cadet College, wherein this is a 4-year course. This is meant for the, this is again an entrance exam, and the qualification is 10 plus 2. Those who are serving, they should have had 2 years of minimum training, minimum service in the respective arms, and then they can go for the exam, and 3 years they are trained at Army Cadet College, Dehradun. Afterwards they join IMA and become officers. There is one more special commission entry which is meant for again the service people. The qualification is 10 plus 2, and 5 years is the service requirement. They should have served in the army, and the age limit is 18 to 23. There is one more SL commission which is meant for the JCOs, serving JCOs and NCOs, wherein they should have had the service in the 10 years service in the army, and they are deployed as a quartermaster and various services places where the services are required. After having done all this, then SSP, once they go through all these shortlisted, SSP is a quite tough 5 days FI, and one should have uh, uh, all-round knowledges. They are tested in every field, physically, mentally, and also aptitude tests. These are held in almost 5 days. After 5th day, they are sent for the medicals, and finally, a merit list is made, and they are observed into the Indian Army. Here, I want to tell you, the SSB is quite a tough selection, deep selection, and it is very difficult to crack. And actually, I wanted to show you a film on 71 war, and unfortunately, I don't know why I couldn't able to share. In fact, in the morning I shared the screen and it was successful. I don't know why. I am really sorry, but it's a good movie for 71 war. You all know that we had 1970. This is a 13-day war, Indo-Pak war, wherein India had a overrun over the Pakistanis, wherein 90,000 Pakistan surrendered, and Bangladesh was liberated after successful operation. And every year we make this event, we rejoice this event on 16th of December every year, even now. And finally, there is one song which has been dedicated by Apurva, which I wanted to show, but let me see if I can be successful towards the end of this your talk. I can get these two shown to you. With this, I finish my little talk, whatever the way I could able to put through. Thank you so much.
Anshika, carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to call a club editor, Dr. Varshini, to welcome Damodar Nair.
Good evening, one and all present here. Let us pledge always to keep the tricolor high and rising. Happy Republic Day to one and all. It gives me an honor to introduce today's speaker, V. Damodar Nair. Sir was graduated from University of Madras in Science. Immediately, he got selected as commissioned officer in Executive Branch of Indian Navy. After initial training at Cochin, Lonavala and Jamnagar, he got posted to different types of ships such as frigates, destroyers, cruisers, and storeships. During this period, he was involved in major Navy operations, Operation Vijay, liberation of Goa, the 1962 Chinese War, and 1965 Indo-Pakistan War. He also commanded a squadron of patron boats operating from Vizag to Dhanushkodi. He also have taken part in Ocean War Games conducted by Commonwealth Navy, New Zealand, Australia, UK, Pakistan, Ceylon, and India. At the end of 7 years, he left Navy and took up the profession as sales and marketing executive in MNC, served for 30 years. After his retirement, he joined his family business and still continuing. And we must be proud that he is involved in Rotary activities for almost 50 years. Due respect to time, now I invite Damodaran sir to take over and speak few words.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Damu sir. Strength 5.
The topic, good evening to all of you, young Rotaractors. The topic for discussion before us today is regarding officers' career and life in the Indian Navy. At the outset, my respect for the admiration and for the three services are not exaggerated expression, but an extract of lived experience, although for a short period. Life in the Navy is like a big family, living together, eating, training, and the life on board a ship with limited space, with scarce provisions. This calls for extreme tolerance, accommodating spirit, emotional maturity, and universal outlook. The selection and training of all personnel, especially suitable officers, are an arduous task. There are three types of entries for the officers' cadre: cadet entry, special entry, and direct entry, depending on the age, academic qualification. The selection board consists of trained officials with long experience, is almost a near perfect procedure to get required candidates. The board which selects personnel every 6 months on a regular basis. In case of direct entry officers, it may not be so, but depending upon the demand of the qualified officers. The procedure conducted by various centers lasts almost 2 weeks, including group tests, physical efficiency tests, psychology tests, and stringent medical examination. Having said that, let's have a peek into the different branches of the Navy. There are 4 main branches in the Navy: executive, engineering, electrical, and supply. Cadets from NDA and direct entry officers attend technical courses at Cochin for almost 1 year before they are posted on board ships. They are exposed to short duration of engineering and electrical branch. I'm talking about the executive branches of the Navy. There are many branches to choose after the training. They are navigation, gunnery, communication, torpedo, and anti-submarine. Specialization courses are recommended depending upon your qualification in the technical course. Officers from the torpedo and anti-submarine course are also selected for submarines. These officers have to undergo stringent test of psychology, as the life on board submarine is extremely arduous and taxing. Naval era is another wing which where candidates opt for, either before or after the technical course. Survey branch in the executive cadre is another avenue where officers are constantly employed in preparing charts and surveying existing charts. Technical officers for naval wing are also selected from the existing cadre. The engineering officers are trained in INS Shivaji at Lonavala, electrical officers at Jamnagar, and supply officers at INS Amla in Bombay. We also have medical officers and educational officers, but are appointed either on shore or on senior ships. I cherish every moment I spend in the Navy, right from the selection and training. You interact with senior officers during training. You get chance to gain experience with the navies, Commonwealth navies, and try to improve your own standards. And above all, you help large number of men working under you for their advancement and welfare. The camaraderie you enjoy with your fellow officers, the utmost respect for seniors, and loyalty and commitment of ranks below give you a personality value to respond to human values in a human way. Observing the performance of senior officers both at sea and on shore give you a moral efficiency apart from the physical and mental efficiency you achieve during this training period. The training on board different types of ships, their roles and weaponry add another additional qualification. You are generally trained by experienced junior commissioned officers who spare no pains to help us to pay attention to every detail in under their command. Famously said by Shakespeare, the wind and waves are always on the side of ablest navigators. The sea can be glassy calm on one moment and kicking up tantrums in the other moment. You need to give extra expertise to face this eventuality. Navy is not a job, it is a profession where you are learning fresh ideas almost every minute. I salute again and again the members of all defense forces for the virtues they display, their awe-inspiring discipline, civilized behavior, and universal outlook. Young aspiring students, I hope I have given you a glimpse of the Navy in a small way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks so much. Now, I would like to call a Club International Service Director, Dr. Janvi, to welcome Wing Commander D.P. Sabharwal.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Republic Day to one and all present here. The Rotarian Wing Commander D.P. Sabharwal was born in March 1950. He is a graduate in mechanical engineering and a postgraduate in aeronautical engineering from the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He served Indian Air Force for 26 years and worked for various fighter aircraft, namely Hunter, MiG-21S and MiG-29 and 28S. He was then sent to USSR for training on MiG-29. He was the chief engineer of an operation base before he sought voluntarily retirement to pursue career of teaching and writing. For more than 24 years, he was visiting professor in 5 engineering colleges and 2 MBA institutes. He has been a trainer on life skills and quality related issues. He is a writer. He published more than 100 literary articles on various national magazines and newspapers. In addition, he is an author of 48 books and 26 of them on aviation and space related subjects. He has been conducting one-day workshop for class students of 9th and 10th on physics in aviation and aero modeling. He is actively involved in spreading awareness about the mental disease Alzheimer's, about which he has written 2 books. Now I request Rotarian Wing Commander T.P. Sabharwal to speak a few words.
Good evening, boys and girls, elder boys and girls, and not so young boys and girls of my age. You have just now listened to my 2 colleagues from the 2 services. First, Colonel Raju from the senior most defense force in the country, the Army. He is 10 years my junior from Thapar Engineering College. Then you heard the next senior branch, the Indian Navy, Lieutenant Damodran Nair, who is 10 years my senior in Rotary Club. So you can see our age, average age is about 72. Well, they have given you glimpses about the Army and the Navy. I'll talk a little about the Indian Air Force. Well, I graduated in 1970. I was working in a private sector. While working there, I applied for UPSC engineering services. I got selected. And then at the instance of a colleague of mine, a schoolmate, who couldn't make it to Army, Navy or Air Force and rejected, he told me it's very difficult to get into that. So we got into a bet. He applied for me. I had no intention. I didn't know anything about the defense forces, coming from a business family in a small town. So I cleared Air Force. So then there was a dilemma, what do I do? I was working in a private sector in a very good position. I was selected in UPSC and then Air Force. And then happened the 71 war. Those 13 days war, which was won by the joint effort of the 3 services. Army moved into the Dhaka. The Navy blocked the Pakistani ships in Karachi. They played havoc with that. And what Air Force did, they gave the clear sky, no interference to the Army to move in. It was a joint effort. But when I say Air Force, today, Army has got its own air wing. The Navy has got its own air power. So after the Second World War, it was known that if future wars have to be won, we have to have an Air Force. So I had the privilege of working in this grand air arm of the 3 services, Indian Air Force, for about 26 years, before I decided that now henceforth I cannot pursue my passion of writing and teaching. So I took voluntary retirement. Now, as far as getting into Air Force is concerned, I'll not go into what the 10+2 students can do. You're all college students. So there are basically 3 different fields. One is a flying. The graduates in BSc, BCom, arts, they can get into the flying branch. Then second is a technical branch to which I belong. You have to be an engineer to get into that. And the third is ground branches. We have got administration, we've got accounts, we've got logistics. So all this information, how you get, is readily available on internet. So I'll not go into that. Rather than that, I'll tell you something about what defense forces offer you. Colonel Raju, and to some extent, Damu sir also mentioned about Selection Service Board, SSB, 5 days. Yes, Colonel Raju is right. It's very tough. But I'll say this is an eye-opener. So even if you're not keen to join defense forces, I'll say apply and go through SSB if you get a call. You'll come to know what selection is all about. 5 days, you'll be grilled through so many tests, so many things. You'll come to know what a life is all about. So that is about SSB. Now, once you get into that, the Air Force, or for that matter, Army and Navy, gives a lot of opportunities for career progression. Like I joined as a mechanical engineer. After 7 years, of course, through competitive exam, about 80 technical officers wrote exam, went through interview, and 12 of us were selected. So I did my post-graduation at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. My other colleagues went to IITs. So I did 2 years of post-graduation by earning full salary over there. 5 years later, I again qualified for a written exam. Inter-Services Army, Navy, Air Force is a 1-year course at Wellington, Utah Command, which leads to your MSc degree in Defense Studies. And since I did well in the career, so I was chosen for a course in the then Russia for induction of MiG-29. So based on my career, 5 years down the line, I was selected to be in the most prestigious posting in the Indian Air Force, which is a Vigilance Inspection Directorate. It's something like a Vigilance Department in civil. And after that, I was a chief engineer. So Air Force gave me all these opportunities for my career progression. And I became, 25 years later when I came out, I was a much qualified, much learned person. Incidentally, this month, 3rd of January, we celebrated 50 years of our joining Air Force. We are joined on 3rd January 1972. So after about 25 years, 8 months, close to 26 years, I left 24 years back. Now what Air Force has given me after those leaving the Indian Air Force for the last 24 years, 2 things. Wherever I went, I was literally taken on a plate, on a platter, at platform for 2 reasons. One is, oh, you're an ex-Air Force officer, number 1. And second, oh, you did your postgraduate from the Indian Institute of Science. Now, these are the 2 stamps. Every engineering college, every MBA institute, every corporate sector, wherever I wanted to impart certain training, I was accepted. Now, this is basically because in those 26 years, what Air Force taught me. In the morning, I had a talk, about 1 hour talk, again with about 7 road-tractor clubs for 1 hour. They wanted my experiences in Indian Air Force. So I told them it taught me many things. And one thing which stands out is the discipline. You just start doing everything the way it should be done. And the defense, right from the beginning, Air Force taught me there is a place for everything and everything should be in its place. And the example I'll give you, you open your cupboard of clothes. How many of you can close your eyes, put your hand and pick up whether you want a night suit or a handkerchief or a socks or something? Or you open your drawer or bookshelf, close your eyes and you want to pick up a book or a diary or a particular thing, can you do that? Well, that is something which is drilled into you in defense forces. You become so professional, so thorough that you don't waste time in looking for things where they should not be. That's one. Second is the human angle. Now, in my 26 years, I don't know, some people call me lucky, some call me unlucky. I traveled to 16 different places. I went to the eastern sector, Assam 3 times. I came to the north 3 times, south 3 times. West, I went once. North, I went twice. Bangalore, I had 3 different postings. So going through all those places, serving under so many technical officers, senior officers, chief engineers, commanding officers, they give you a lot of experience, lot of values. I'd like to share a small anecdote which happened. I had about 6 years of service, and then Army had its aviation corps. So I was beyond Tejpur. They wanted a qualified technical officer because the earlier technical officer had some problems. So they wanted a smart and professional technical officer. So my boss from MiG said, okay, for 6 months, we loan out Sabharwal to you. So I went over there. One day a helicopter went to Upper Sela, about 15,000 feet, got stuck over there. It had to be retrieved. We couldn't send a recovery helicopter. So I went by road with my convoy. So at 9,000 feet, we had to call the acclimatization camp. We had to spend a night over there. And I was told, okay, look, if you have to go further up, you have to spend 6 days acclimatizing here. Because anything above 9,000 feet, if you go, you get breathing problem. So I realized, I said, 6 days we can't spend here. The helicopter will not be retrieved. So I decided, I took a decision. I had a service of just about 6 years. So I told my team early morning, 5:30, get into the vehicle, we'll go. We proceeded, went ahead, serviced the helicopter, came back. As we were coming to Tejpur, on the RT radio telephone, the pilot got a message, the station commander wants to see Flight Lieutenant Sabarwal. He congratulated. He says, Savvy sir, good job done. You are going to get something. Anyway, we got down. I changed into the uniform, smart uniform, went to the CEO, saluted him. He called me to his desk. He put a file in front of me and he says, go through this letter and sign. Well, that was the first love letter I had got. And in defense, when somebody gets a warning and all that, we don't say warning letter. We call it a love letter. That was the first love letter. It had said, it was a report, complaint had come from the army headquarters that Flight Lieutenant Sabarwal violated the army rules. He was supposed to spend 6 days over there. He broke the convoy, he went and all that. So action should be taken against you and intimated to us. So the station commander had issued me a written warning and he says, sign it. You believe me, now I know what is Parkinson's. That time my hands are shaking, I somehow signed it. After that, he put the letter in his file, closed the file, put it, offered me a cup of tea, tried to make me comfortable because I was literally jittery. When I was having a cup of tea, it was rattling. I can still remember. Then he said, okay, young man, you may go. So as I got up, saluted, he got up from his chair. I remember Group Captain Karan Yadav, he came around me, then he put his hand onto my shoulder. He says, Savvy, that is what I first did was my official job. I got a complaint against you. I had to take action. So I've given you a written warning, nothing more than that, right? Now, I come to your boss as a Air Force officer station commander. What you did, the way you retrieved the helicopter is really commendable. He says, in view of this, probably we can't give you a commendation letter because the two can't be combined. But let me tell you, I appreciate what you have done. I give you my congratulations and also a piece of advice. If in future you are in a similar situation, young man, do exactly what you have done today. Well, I quote this incident because in your life, you will come across people who do right things, wrong things. The sticks and carrot policies will carry on. This lesson which Group Captain Karan Yadav, I remember his name, I still recollect his face, he taught me. When you have to be tough, you do, but simultaneously make sure you don't break the person. That day, if he hadn't given me a pat on the back after giving me the warning letter, believe me, I would have been a better man. My next 20 years in Air Force would have gone in a different way. So this is what I say, I can relate 15, 20 experiences of this nature. So this is what the Defense Forces teaches you, which is very difficult outside. I've served 24 years in the private sector. Of course, I never worked. I was always a freelancer as a professor, visiting professor. I was not a full-time, but I've seen what exactly the scenario is. So this is what I can say, a career in Defense Forces. If any one of you have thought of it, my congratulations. If you haven't thought of it, it's the time to go. Now, when I joined, I left a job of 1,000 rupees to join at a salary of 700 rupees. Everybody said, are you a fool? Well, I said, money is not everything. But today the salaries, starting salaries of officers are very good. And you see, it's not only the salaries. What I say today, you go to the civil, somebody gives you a package of about 30 lakhs a year, 2.5 lakhs. You don't get in hand 2.5 lakhs. You maybe get about half of it. The other 50% is CTC, cost to the company, your comforts, So similarly in Air Force, other than salary, the perks you get are fabulous. I think today the officers are insured, group insurance, for about 75 lakhs. If you imagine, if you in a normal life, you have to get an insurance of 75 lakhs, how much premium you'll have to give. You get subsidized house. And the best is career progression. And all those who are sports oriented, believe me, the amount of privileges, facilities given. And today you have heard the Neeraj Chopra, the amount of awards he's given, he's a Havaldar. So if you have a normal person in civil life as sportsman, you may not get a chance. But when you get into defense services, well, you will go up. Two of my colleagues, one in hockey and one in cricket, they played for services. They said, otherwise they wouldn't have got a chance. So it's work while you work, enjoy while you enjoy. So that is what is life, not only in Air Force, in the 3 services. So with that, I'll say, I close my talk. Now I'll request my other 2 colleagues to take a question. So if any one of you have got any question pertaining to Army, Navy or Air Force, just mention that and go ahead. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
If anyone has questions or queries, please do put it across.
Out of 88, I'm sure about 75 would be students. So the silence is not understood and is not accepted.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir. Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, I want to join Indian Navy through NDA. So I have, can you please give some study strategy to clear NDA?
Yeah, I think as a Sabharwal sir, you can answer, otherwise I'll take on.
Sir, you can unmute yourself. You are on mute.
Okay. Yeah. You see, the strategy for cracking any exam, whether it's civil or military, is that you have to be well prepared. Syllabus is given everywhere. And you remember that all these competitive exams, if 1,000 people apply, it's only about 50 or 60 or 70 or maximum 100 clear. So you have to have in that bracket. So your strategy has to be better than others. There is my only thing is when 1,000 are appearing, there are 100 vacancies. You should say, I want only 1 out of those 100. So if you got that attitude, you can make it. Unless Colonel Raju wants to add something, please.
Yeah, I think Wing Commander Sabharwal has rightly said, you have got to have that attitude right from the school days. And it should be very clear, you got that willpower. If you got your willpower, you will do it. Yes, everything right, everything is possible if you have a willpower. And especially if you want to join Navy, as I said, you should have had physics and mathematics as one of the subjects, because these are the most technical arms. Whereas in the army you find infantry, artillery, these are all, where normal graduate can crack. Only the SSB, as Wing Commander Sabharwal has brought out, SSB is not so easy. It is a 5-day affair. In the first day only 50% of the people are screened out by way of psychological tests, your physical efficiency tests. These are conducted on the first day. In the earlier, when we joined, we have been kept for all the 4 days, but the latest trend is in the first day only these people are screened, so that they spend more time with the balanced people to get the cream of the youth.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words.
Yeah, next question.
I think there is something should come from the girls. There is the is all girls now. They have been given the chance to join armed forces. I am very sure they will do very well, because if you have seen the academy, the girl topped in the recent passing out parade.
Yeah, the girls are becoming fighter pilot. One of the girls who has adopted me as a grandfather, she is doing the pilot's course in AFA.
Let me see if I can put that one slide, if it's possible.
Try opening a PPT to see if that is working, or would
Yeah,
you just,
there's one song, sir. I just wanted to.
maybe that it's not synced or something. There could be a
Yeah,
problem with
can you
video.
hear this? Can you hear this song?
No.
No.
Maybe that format is not compatible or something.
Yeah. Maybe the group can invite Colonel Raju for some another day, exclusively on the Indian Army.
So there is another question put across in the chat box.
Yeah, so can you read it out?
Yeah, sure, sir. AFCAT exams can help in getting into Air Force, sir, for selection process.
AFTC. What is that? Air Force? Who has put the question? What is the full form of AFTC? Sorry, I may be outdated with the symbol, abbreviations.
Sir, it's FCAT exam.
FCAT.
Yes, sir, that is the one.
Hold on, I think Colonel Raju has got that.
This is a song, I am a soldier and I am marching on. Can you hear the song? Can you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think you would be able to hear the song.
But we have to strain to hear the words. Probably it was playing on your computer, so it wasn't okay.
Yes,
the sound level was not strength 5 as we say. It was strength about 2.5. Okay. But nonetheless, thank you. Okay, coming to this question, Air Force Common Admission Test. Now the question is whether this exam can allow somebody's selection into Air Force. So I don't know whether FCAT is for which branches? Well, it's definitely not for the technical branches. I think internet I'll have to look into. I'm not sure about the admission processes. But otherwise, as I say, Air Force Common Admission Test, it must be for the other branches, administration, logistics, etc. Okay. So I am not able to directly answer that question. I'm sorry. But it definitely takes you to Air Force. Which branch? I'm not sure. Because as it says, it's an admission test, it's admission into Air Force. Yeah. Sorry, Gayatri, I'm not able to answer you fully. Okay. Yeah. Next. I think, Janvi, if there are no more questions, your strength numbers are also dwindling. From 100, we have come to 79. So I think it's the time for you to take the next point on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, my name is Shreya Nair, and I'm daughter of a Wing Commander Shailesh Kumar.
Lovely.
So, sir, I want to just ask you something. How can a lady officer recruit herself into a permanent commission?
Yes. You see, there are ground duty branches. Permanent commission lady officers can get, if you are an engineer, into engineering branch. Okay. And you can get into with the basic minimum qualification of graduation, BA, BSc, BCom, BBA, BCA, whatever you are doing, or even higher. You can get into the administrative branches. Now, the training for all of them is at Air Force Academy. And in fact, the direct graduates can also go through, there are 3 schemes for the pilots also, again in Air Force Academy. One is through NCC, other is a graduation. You have to pass what is called aptitude test, okay, pilot aptitude test, PAT, which is only once a test is conducted. If you pass, you go to the next stage. If you fail, there is never a repeat test on that. So yes, permanent commission, you can get into the technical branches, you can get into the administrative branches, you can get into the flying branch also, right? So that is my general answer, but specific answers, you'll have to go to the Air Force website, www.airforce.gov.in. That'll give all the branches, all admission criteria.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Anshika, you can proceed.
Yeah, John. Now, I would like to call a club secretary, Dr. Ashwini, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone present here. Wish you all a happy Republic Day. I am Rotractor Ashwini, Secretary from Rotract Club of SSMRV College. As we come close to the end of this event, on behalf of Rotract Club of SSMRV College, it gives me immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for the day. Firstly, I thank our beloved Principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar Sir, for his constant support and guidance. Thank you, sir. My special thanks to the speaker of the day, Subbaraju. Thank you, sir. It was really knowledgeable. A special thanks to the other speaker of the day, Commander Damodaran. Thank you, sir. It was really interesting and inspiring. I extend my special thanks to the another speaker of the day, Commander D.P. Sabharwal, for his inspiring speech. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to our parent Rotary Club of Bangalore Cantonment for the constant support and guidance. And here is the Secretary Rotractor Nanda Kumar from Parent Rotary. Thank you for joining us. I take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to our club convener, Mr. Jitendra Kumar Sir, for his presence and guidance. Thank you, sir. I heartily thank our immediate past President Rotractor Vignesh for his constant support. Thank you, Vignesh. My heartfelt thanks to all the clubs who collaborated with us for the event. Thank you so much. Last but not the least, I heartily thank all the BOD's members and my dear friends for joining us in the event. I once again thank one and all who helped us to make this event a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Have a nice day.